Hello, it is Sunday, December 29th, and it's coming up on 4:30 in the afternoon, and I went to stop by work for a little bit to drop something off, and I have had a major epiphany. Um, you know, God says that we have free will, and we can make our decisions, but the one free will decision I had to make was leaving my ex-husband Matt all the way, cutting him off. And that was going to be my decision. I was told if I cut him off and I cut him out and I get rid of him, my blessings will start to come in. It can't be given to me earlier because if it is, I might give it away to people who are undeserving. And this is a choice that I had to make. I think in past readings, I've also mentioned that spiritual warfare, that's a battle between good and bad. And when people encounter spiritual warfare, it's not just around them, it's within them. And that is what we refer to as a dark night of the soul. And I was made aware that that is what I'm encountering, and I'm seeing it in the place that I work all over. So I know that this is a major cross point, I guess is the word I want to say, crossing point. Do I do what God has asked me to do and put my trust and faith in Him? Do I take a leap of faith and let Him help me? Or do I stay with my ex-husband and continue on with this relationship? And I tried to leave. I've tried to. I have some addiction issues, and I had no idea that I struggled with them. I've always known I have an addictive personality, but on purpose, I stay away from anything that could turn into an addiction. I don't really gamble. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I stay away from all of that. And we can get addicted to things that people don't even realize is an addiction. Right now, I've got 3 addictions that I am battling big time, and one of them is my weight. I've got a food addiction. I am feeding myself for comfort because I have been in a state of anxiety. And whenever you feel a state of anxiety, anger, frustration, sadness, the whole range of those feelings, that's your indication that you are not thinking, walking, acting in alignment with God. If you are happy and at peace, that's your indication. We can go by our emotions. We have to recognize our emotions and pay attention to them, and they help guide us. And so I knew that I was not in alignment. And then another addiction that I learned that I have is a trauma bond with Matt, the ex-husband. And I had no idea how strong this bond was. I had no idea at all. I am told that this trauma bond is as strong as like a cocaine addiction, if not even more. And people who break trauma bonds, they really have to work at it. Not everybody makes it the first time around. Sometimes they go back and then they've got to make an effort and break it again and break it again. And then if they work hard at it, they can break that trauma bond. And that is where I realize I am at with Matt, that I just never really knew. I never realized the extent of it. But I recognize it today. And then the third addiction that I have is like a dopamine addiction. And I think a lot of us have that. This is a common addiction. And I never knew I had it until I tried to stop. But I always have to have something going. I always have to have music, TV, social media, food, just something to keep me going and to keep my mind busy, because when it gets quiet, that is when I find the emotions that I am having problems dealing with. And these three things just have to be broken for me. And I know it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to do it. And, a few months ago, because I would try to turn off the phone. I would try to turn off YouTube. I would try to turn off television. And, I got a message, and the message was, you better slow down, or you're going to be made to slow down, and it's not going to be at a convenient time, and there's not going to be a whole lot to do about it, but that is going to have to be what it is. You either start working on silencing yourself, because if I were to get silent and kind of listen and deal with my emotions that I've been running from, I would see what I needed to see. And the deal was, I could do this the easy way, or I could do it the tough way. And the tough way was going to be like, you're going to find some things out all at once, and then it's going to be very difficult. You're going to struggle a lot. And this is the hardest way to go through this. But sometimes people just aren't ready. And you're ready when you're ready. And God is just going to be talking louder and louder and louder until you hear it. He is going to remove you from everybody you need to be removed from. And you make that final decision with this one, with Matt. And lo and behold, I got sick last night. Just sick. And I have a head cold and a headache, and it's just kind of sitting in my sinuses, and I can't seem to kick it. I just kind of feel miserable. And I don't know that I want to go into work tomorrow. I have a daughter that would like me to go get checked out at the doctor, and she would feel better. And so I think I might listen to her. And give her some peace of mind on that. And I would like the peace of mind as well. But right now I sound very nasally, and I can't sleep and have a headache, and it is a very inopportune time. I didn't know that this would be it, but here it is. And I have a coworker that has come into work for a month with this, and he's gotten his wife sick, he's gotten his daughter sick, he's come into work every day and struggled and felt miserable, but he keeps coming in because he says there's nothing they can do, it's viral, and he just has to wait. And now he's gotten me sick. But I see that was divine timing. I needed to get sick just to quiet down, and the universe gave me a gift. And I was told, turn down the sound, listen, look at your surroundings, and you're going to see something. And I couldn't do it. And I was told, if you don't do this, somebody's going to come in and give you some news, and you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to get this news one way or the other, and you have to make a decision. And last night, we don't have a lot of money right now. And we're struggling to pay the bills. And the one thing that I don't like is that there have been unlocked doors and windows in the house. And this happened in 2019. But it's been happening lately. And I went in and put bars in the window. And I've got different kind of cheap locks for the doors because I can't afford a camera system. And quite honestly, I just don't know if I want a camera system in the house. But I do want some safety. And I don't know. Matt was over yesterday. And I should say I started the other day where I noticed the kitchen window was unlocked. And I shut that and I lectured everybody. Be careful with windows and doors. And then the other night, I locked the garage door, the basement door, and the front door. And woke up and the basement and the garage door were unlocked and the basement door was open. And I could figure it was probably one of my kids because I don't want to alarm them or scare them. I just keep trying to tell them, please keep the house safe. But they're young kids, and they stay up way later than I can. And I try to lock everything before I go to sleep, and then I tell them, do not go outside. Do not unlock a door or window. You stay in the house. And then when Matt comes over and he leaves, he'll lock up as well. And I have also mentioned in past recordings where I woke up and somebody was in my room. And I'm assuming they thought that I was like drugged or passed out or asleep. And they were rough a little bit with me. And I woke up and freaked out. But I was very groggy. I was in what felt like a drug state. But I woke up enough to tell them, because I thought it was Matt. I told him, stop, you're scaring me. And this person stopped. They were shocked. And then I realized later that didn't feel like Matt's hands. They were touching my face. And Matt was in the other room asleep. I've asked him many times to come sleep in the bedroom with me, and we don't even have to share the same bed. We have 2 separate beds that he can sleep in, and he just cannot do it. And sometimes I can't either. I'll be honest with that. And so we've always slept separately, and he told me he did not know, and he started alluding to maybe it's a dream. I think he had a dream. But there are some things that feel very real and it's not a dream, and this is one of them. And I woke up last night or this morning after feeling kind of miserable, and I came downstairs and I looked at the front door and I looked at the garage, and they were both unlocked. And I was frustrated. I was very frustrated, and I didn't feel well, and the doors had been unlocked all night, and my daughter was on the couch, and the other one was up in her room, and I was up in my room, and I just didn't feel safe, and I was frustrated. And I woke up my younger daughter on the couch, and I said, "Did you go outside last night?" And she said, "I didn't." And I told her, "The doors are open. The front door is open and the garage is open. And there is no reason for them to be open. And I need you and Anna to stop opening doors at night. If I go to bed earlier than you and you want to stay up a little late, you have to make sure the doors are locked. I have to." If I find another unlocked door, I'm going to start with the groundings, and I will start by taking phones." And I just got a look from my younger daughter. She just looked at me. She didn't say anything. She was probably a little bit angry. But my next move was to call Matt, because he has moved out and sleeps separately. And I said, "The door was unlocked last night." And he said, "Are you kidding me?" And I said, "I am going to talk to the kids, and I'm going to make some serious consequences." And I was very frustrated. And he said, "Last night," and I said, "Did you lock the door when you left last night?" And he said, "I did not." He said, "I was walking out the door and I asked Anna to lock the door behind me, and I should not have done that." And that just struck me as BS. It is BS. I have told him many times about my issues with security and not feeling really safe at this house and all the weird things going on and the doors being unlocked and open when they shouldn't be. And he tells me he leaves last night and doesn't lock the door. He tells the girls to. And I told him that is not their job. If you have a key, you lock the door when you go. You do not depend on two teenagers to do anything when it comes to locked doors. You lock the door. And he apologized profusely. And I hung up with him, and I called my oldest daughter and woke her up. And I wasn't happy at this, and let it be known. And Anna said, "Dad didn't tell me to lock the door." And there have been many times where my girls have lied, but in this moment, it made sense. And I said, "I believe you." I knew she was telling the truth. And I said, "Please always check for locked doors. I am going to lock them at night, and I will put extra locks on now. And I don't want them opening up anything. I will check windows and doors and locks and the garage. I will do whatever I need to do to make that place as secure as I possibly can with what I have." When I hung up, my younger daughter was still looking at me. And she was waiting for me to, blow up at both of them. And I had kind of, I wouldn't say I had blown up, but I took a stern voice with her. And when she heard me talking to Anna and she heard me tell her, "I believe you," that's when she told me. And both of my girls are sharp. And that's when she told me, she said, when Dad left, I was in the room and Anna was in the room. And I can confirm he did not tell Anna to lock the door. We were both here. And in fact, we were playing video games, and she said, I literally heard the key. I heard him lock the door. And we assumed the door was locked. And then it clicked for me. And I realized what I was supposed to see, that I would not quiet down to see. My husband has been leaving the door unlocked so people can come into the house and, I believe, attack me. And I also believe that he charges money for it. And he's got some side money. I think he's terrorizing me. And that is where it made sense. And that was all of the validation I needed. I could finally understand what I was supposed to see. And all of the sudden, I didn't need anybody else to give me any more validation. And I didn't see this coming. But I realized what he was doing. Back in 2019, he told me that he had a hole in his heart and a hole in his soul. And he didn't have anyone he could talk to. No one. He couldn't talk to one soul about something that was upsetting him. Something that he had done that he could not forgive himself for. And he would not tell me what it was. And he said, I have prayed to my mom for some guidance because his mom died when he was younger. And he said, I am looking for any answers. And he would not tell me what he was upset about. But it was severe if he was that upset. I have never heard somebody tell me they made mistakes that were so bad it left a hole in their soul. And now I know what it was. He has been making money and stealing my energy and letting other people steal it. He's been having me drugged and raped. And he has been taking money for it. And he's been leaving a path into the house. And it all added up. And that is when I realized I did not need any more validation. I did not need any more answers, because before that point this morning, I could not leave him. I knew I needed to. I knew God was pressuring me. I knew what I had to do, and I prayed and prayed and prayed for help to leave him. And I told God my decision, and I said, I want to leave. I want to leave. Please help me. Please help me leave him. That's my decision. That is my free will decision. I want to let him go. And look what happened this morning when I finally quieted down for 2 seconds. Today is the day where I didn't correct him. I didn't tell him my theory. I didn't tell him what I think has been happening and what I figured out from his behavior and his actions and everything going on around me. I didn't do any of that. I don't need his validation anymore. I just need to walk away from him. And in fact, I need to walk away from a lot of people in my life because they are all bad. They too are struggling, and they too are demons, and I have got to go. I have got to go and move on to greener pastures, and I cannot take him with. He cannot come. And the fact that I know all this and I didn't blow up at him and I kept my cool and instead just walked away is an indication to me that I'm growing. But also an indication like I'm not going to fight about it anymore. I'm moving into another energy and I'm going to leave him behind. And I'm going to let him find the people that he's always been meant to be with, because it's not me. And this doesn't turn out good for him. I think what a lot of people don't understand, and I didn't understand until a few years ago, is if you hurt people, and it can be all different levels of hurt. You can hurt their feelings, you can be kind of a bully, you can be mean, or you can physically hurt them. However that hurt takes place, that's all that matters in this life. That's what I'm told. It matters how we treat each other. And even in all of my feelings and anger, I have an obligation to let God handle this. And today I started praying, and I wanted to know, give me guidance, God. I've seen what I need to see. I don't need any more validation. You can send somebody in to physically validate this the way that I've been asking and praying for so long, but I realize I can now take a leap of faith and leave this man. And it's not going to be easy. I don't know what will happen. I don't know. I don't know what will happen in my life. I don't know what will happen with my things. I just know that right now I can't afford to live in the house that we're in with my two girls, and I'll be damned if I am leaving them behind. And when I leave Matt, he is such a narcissist. He is going to turn on my girls. It's going to get ugly, and he's going to turn on me, because when he can't control me, he's got to control everyone around me, and it's not going to be good. And this is where this stops. I can stay for a lifetime of abuse, or I can leave now and watch it really turn up and put my faith in God, that God has me and will protect me and my children. He's been telling me that from the start. And I believe him with my heart and soul. I believe him. I have all the validation I need. I believe in my gift. I believe I'm going to be okay. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I believe in God. God is real. Karma is real. And he's going to protect me and my children. And we're going to do this, however that is. God bless. Stay safe.